Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I'm your host, Chris, and welcome to my review for Supergirl Season 1, Episode 20. It is the season finale episode entitled Better Angels. And overall, I thought this was a good episode. I didn't think it was a spectacular episode. It did have a few letdowns here and there, but overall, I thought it was a good episode, just not great. A couple positives that I had was the opening sequence right where the last episode left off, picking up right where that one left off was with Kara or Supergirl fighting her sister Alex. I thought was really cool, and her in that kryptonite armor with the sword, and she was beating up Supergirl. She was ready to kill her and take her out. And I made a comparison last week that it kind of reminded me of the Batman v Superman fight, and it still did. I thought it was almost very similar, like their version of the Batman v Superman fight, and it was probably just as long too, or short anyway. So I mean, I thought that was kind of funny, but overall, I thought it was a pretty cool fight. I did enjoy that stuff. One of my other big positives in this episode was all the scenes with Kara going around to all of her friends and family saying goodbye. I thought that was excellently done, and it was sad, man. I mean, I was heartbroken by all that. Um, and it really put in a question in my mind. Oh, well, maybe Supergirl's not going to survive. Maybe it's going to leave on a cliffhanger with her floating through space or something to that effect. But I really did think that a lot of those scenes, especially with Hank, yeah, or John Jones, I thought was really good. Her sister was really good, and it was heartfelt with Win and James as well was very good. And that was a touching scene though with Kat as well. It's like Kat. I mean, Kat is probably one of the outstanding stars. I mean, they're all pretty outstanding, but she has been one of the outstanding stars throughout the whole entire season. Calista Flockhart, excellent job this season, and you can see in her the way she acts. She's got that. She still has her cat attitude. She's got that snarky attitude, but under all that exterior, she actually cares, and she has a couple nice sentiments to say to Kara. So I think she cares, but she's got like this snarky attitude at the same time. She does a really good job at it. So those scenes were great. I really enjoyed those scenes. Another positive for me was the fight scenes. I thought was really cool. I did think they were a little short, and I thought they could have been a little longer. There wasn't really a lot happening. I mean, they flew around a little bit, and then they had the laser eyes at each other, which is fantastic. I mean, that's one of the outstanding special effects of the show is that actual laser eyes that they do is excellently done. And I did think the battle with John Jones and Indigo was a little lackluster. There wasn't a lot there. She did the whole Terminator 2, spike or metal knife through the through the body again. I mean, but other than that, I mean, he picks her up and then just like rips her in half. I mean, I was like, well, I mean, she can like materialize back together. I mean, he threw her into that building last week and she just it exploded and she just rematerialized. She materializes through all different types of technology and everything, but for some reason he's able to pull her apart. I mean, I was thinking, well, what? Why? I mean, that seemed a little too convenient, a little too easy. That all they had to do was just rip her apart and then that was it. I mean, shouldn't she be able to just re-materialize? I mean, that was a little bit of a weird moment. Um, I think they could have come up with something a little better to actually take her out. But the thing, and then the fight scene with Non and Supergirl, I thought was cool. Them getting thrown around and going through the air and everything, and then the laser eye. I mean, I did think that was again with that. I mean, his eyes getting burned. I mean, it didn't seem like I don't know that I think that was a little better than the Indigo and John Jones fight. But overall, I thought it was a cool fight scene sequence. I thought it was a little short and the payoff was a little lackluster, unfortunately. But I thought it was a positive. Another big positive for me though was the CG of Kara picking up that spaceship and carrying it out into space. I thought that was fantastically done, and then her in space. I thought it was a little confusing to me though that they said, "Oh, well, you're not going to be able to survive in space or breathe or anything." I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Can't Superman go into space all the time? Doesn't he like go into space?" It's just like I don't understand why Supergirl can't go into space. I mean, you think that would be not that big a deal, and her to just come, she's just be able to take it out into space and then fly back down. I mean, I don't know what the trouble there is, or what angle they're playing at with that, but that was a little weird to me as well. But overall, I like the CG of her carrying that out into space. I thought that was cool. But anyway, guys, a few of the negatives that I had a couple here and there. One was the lack of Superman in this episode. They had Superman laying on a table in the DEO. He's like laid out. Supergirl comes walking in to talk to Hank in that heartfelt moment. But Superman's laying on a table right there, knocked out. All you see is his boots. I mean, I was thinking, whoa, wait a minute. This would have been a great opportunity to maybe bring in a Superman to show in the final finale of the show on the season finale. I think that would have been fantastic if they could have showed a Superman of somebody, being Superman and maybe him helping Kara out. I mean, I thought that would have been pretty cool. Bring in that dynamic. That would have been a fantastic, big episode if they would have had like a Superman in the final finale, at least just one episode. But they didn't take that opportunity. I thought it was kind of weird that he was just like unconscious on the table with Supergirl walking around. Everybody else is fine. I mean, but for some reason he was unconscious. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really care much for that. Another negative was the Indigo and Non fight. It was a little lackluster. Indigo died a little too easily, I think. Getting pulled apart and all that. Um, but overall, guys, I thought it was a good episode. It wasn't a great episode. And then we have that final scene at the end with that Kryptonian pod coming down and Kara opening up the pod, and inside we have no idea who it is. I mean, they leave on a cliffhanger. Unfortunately, they leave on a cliffhanger. I'm really, really hoping that they get picked up for season 2. I think they will. I think they will get picked up, but I don't think an official word has been put out yet. So, fingers crossed, guys, because I hate to have this show leave on a cliffhanger and be done for. That would be terrible. But overall, I really hope that they get picked up. I think they will, though. But overall, guys, this whole season I think has been a great, great season, and I think the show's really, really good. And I think out of all the Berlanti superhero shows, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, I actually think Supergirl is actually a little better than Arrow now, which is saying something. And I really enjoyed this season, and I liked all the characters involved. And Melissa Benoist is a fantastic Supergirl, and we have all these other great characters, Alex and John Jones. They've all been fantastic. All the different characters are great, and there's a lot of other cool things. I mean, it looks like the general gave that sphere or whatever to Maxwell Lord, and it looks like they're going to probably come up with some. He'll probably have something devilish to come up with next season. It also looks like, we're going to get maybe a love story next season with James and Kara, kind of like a Lois Lane and Superman type thing going on. So that should be interesting to see where they go with that. We still have Jeremiah Danvers at that facility that they need to break out of there. So we still have that for next season. So there's a lot of cool angles they can play with next season, and I can't wait to see what they do, and I really hope it gets picked up for next season. But if there's anything that I missed, guys, that you want to talk about this whole season or this episode, please write in the comments below. If there's anything that you didn't like about this episode or this season, please write in the comments below. But that will do it for me for this week for another Supergirl review. I will see you guys next season. Until then, take it easy.